responsibility for calling the meeting, as chair. The reason for this is that our last meeting that we had was specifically for public hearing, and we weren't at liberty to be able to discuss issues, particularly about the closure of Stanley Landfill with prospective closure of Stanley. So thought we needed to get our heads together as a staff and make some decisions with regard to who's going to be doing what in the days that lie ahead. This precipitated in a conversation that I had with one of the grantors last week with regard to where was the chairman in the midst of all of this that was going on. So I talked to our county manager, and Greg and Andy both have done a super job. That's just how it is. And of course, the economic development department, and then too, the county manager is manager of the county, and it takes a point in that right there. But I believe that I need to step forward a little bit more, be a higher profile. I'll talk to Greg about this, and it's not a question of, they're not getting it done. It's just a question of it's been asked, where is the representation for the board? So we'll make a decision about that today. And it's not that this board's excluded. This board is comprised of members that are elected to this board, and as chair, I would like to really pursue this as much as I possibly can. And we have laid back until the dust is settled to find out exactly where we're going with this. Greg has kept me apprised and kept us all apprised of what's going so far. As I was coming up down Sweet Water this morning, I have a bit of concern about what we're going to be able to share, if any of that be proprietary information with regard to buyers, who those potential buyers may be, if in fact there are buyers, and to kind of watch our step where we're going. So I'll speak my mind, and I'll be quiet with it, but I needed to have you folks together on this. There's some issues, and I'm glad that Becky's able to be here with us this morning as a finance officer, and two, with the EDC situation with regard to the grant monies that we have involved with the Stanley Furniture. There has been contact already with the Golden Leaf, also with the other agencies and grantors of grants that are involved with Stanley. There's not going to be a default. It's just a question of us being able to go and to do what's right in the event that Stanley does in fact close its doors. And even then, if they do have a buyer, there's a possibility that we have to reframe the nature of those particular grants. So with that, I would request the board, if I could, just have a point with this, and I could be the contact person, not to hide any information, but I'll communicate everything that I possibly can. As Greg and Andy are going to be the guys on the ground. I mean, that's just it. I don't have all the time to commit to it. But when somebody calls and says, well, where's the representation from the Board of Commissioners? We're going to tell them that the board is active, and we are. But we have a county manager and an economic development person that's been active, very active in this. So with that, I would like to ask if the board would consider having me in that position to represent this board, not to make decisions without the board, but to be available to address any issues that any of these parties might have for the board. And we have a motion. We have a second. All right, any further discussion with this? Now let me reiterate, this is not that I'm going to go and hoard all this information. I don't want it. I want to make sure that I can get it where it needs to be, and still with our staff working as diligent as they are. They know the people, they've had interaction with the people. At this juncture, I just asked Greg to give us, if you would, Greg, and I didn't say anything about this before this meeting, but give us a rundown of where we stand right now with the resources that are coming to Stanley, and what the county has to play in that.
Absolutely. I've provided you with a list, and this is just a few of the people that we have. We engaged right away as soon as the news came out in regards to the notice of Stanley Furniture. Right away, And we are currently working with government agencies and partners that have been engaged. DC Department of Commerce, in particular, directly at the top, Sharon Decker, the Secretary of Commerce. The Governor's Office, Congressman Mark Meadows, Senator Kay Hagan, of course, Southwest Commission, Region A, the Golden Leaf Foundation, Eastern Band, Advantage West, Tri-County Community College, and the Appalachian Regional Commission. All of these folks, our Economic Development Director is in Asheville right now, meeting with the ARC to discuss the allocations to the county of the year to see how we may be able to apply some of those to help in this situation. We've got a lot of private corporations who have called in and are willing to do what they can to provide incentives. Duke Energy, we've been on a conference call with them. Boston West, FiberNet, Direct Enterprises, and some other companies that are involved in the community. Ted Theodore in particular, who's willing to offer to lend any assistance that we may request as far as a marketing campaign that may go to the county. A lot of that information is being developed, and we're working. I will say that there is a lot of optimism in regards to trying to find a potential buyer for Stanley Furniture. We're not trying to give any form of false hope, but there's some scheduled interested parties that are scheduled to be touring the facility over the next couple of weeks. And have any particulars to exactly know who those are, I don't have all that information. That's Stanley's deal. We're here to help facilitate and be the conduit for to make it an easy transition and to make it happen. I think that it's important to know that the employees of Stanley Furniture, I commend them, and I've said this before, they got some of the worst news possible on Tuesday and Wednesday morning. They came back to work, and their attendance was higher than normal, we were told. And so, hats off to them. We have got a dedicated, highly skilled workforce in that plant, and a facility that, as a county, we have sought help to provide upgrades to. It's a very efficient, high-end equipment that's in that facility. So we've got a lot working for us in this. I will say, and I'll provide a letter for the board to approve if you see it feel necessary as far as a statement. We can make any changes that you may see. But I think it's important to know for Graham County to know, as soon as we were permitted to meet with Stanley officials the day that the information came out, we made it a point to find out what Graham County could have done. They said that Graham County had done everything necessary, they just weren't selling enough furniture. We were very much appreciative of that because we want to make sure that we didn't leave anything on the table, and we have. People of Graham County and Stanley Furniture, it's been a good union over the last few years. So we are actively pursuing this. We are working on this. This is our number one priority right now, is to find a buyer. And but at the same time, we're making all the necessary steps. We've taken all those steps in case, in the event that there are displaced workers. That process is taking effect too, so that we make sure that they have all the necessary information they need to be able to access the assistance that they would need if in fact they are displaced.
Okay, with that, it considers a discussion. We have a motion and a second. I need a vote, please, on the last. All approved? No, opposed. All right, thank you very much. Some information that I can share at this juncture is this, that Beth Cook, who is our workforce development representative of the Southwest Commission, has been already active with this for the potential of closure. They will begin the process on April the 21st. They'll be coming into Stanley Furniture plant itself. Stanley's offered their facilities for workforce development, and they don't call it the Employment Security Commission anymore. They call it Employment Solutions. Is coming in to also do some education for the employees there. They're going to do it in cohorts of 20 employees at a time. That will start on April the 21st. And you and I have an appointment to meet with her at 1 o'clock tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll get it to you. But she's coming to meet with us at the county level with a representative from Raleigh. And they have pledged to do everything that they possibly can for the workers that are there. But it's already been stated, it's, a pledge is made by a lot of different pledges by a lot of folks about doing everything possible for Graham County. With this, we look to it, and the numbers that I see here, about 235 employees out of 400, or the 392, are going to be impacted. I personally had conversations, as I'm sure our county manager and others had, with the surrounding counties, because there will be some impact on them with regard to the potential closure of the plant. I've been told by members of the board here that that plant had been closed for a good period of time. 15 years. And, Graham County survived that. We said it was 71 to 86, 1971 to 1986, that closure. But we're going to look to this, and there is an air of optimism there. And there are also some other ideas that could be brought up, with regard to there's not a buyer. But I'm not at liberty to speak about those right now because those are things that we committed to contract. So we would be talking about those later as we're able. So with that, the board, we're going to do everything we possibly can. And I know that we're right now coming up on our budget process, which has already started with our staff. And depending on how this all works out, it does have an impact on revenues and collection of revenues. And this board's not going to have a blind eye to the needs of the citizens, and try and do everything we possibly can to foster an environment where we're going to take care of our employees. Also, it's kind of like a big gorilla sitting in the room. We're coming into the final phases of the opt-in process. With all the planning and everything else that's taking place with opt-in, and also with that of the comprehensive transportation plan. I think this drives home, in one sense, how critical it is for us to have transportation. Michael Goldstein, after we couldn't meet with him, by the way, until after the stock market closed that day, after 4 o'clock. That was the reason. But we were able to go over about 4:30 and talk with him. And one of the things that was mentioned, without any, soliciting an answer, was that we need to, Mr. Goldstein said, transportation, having the ability to get in and out here with goods produced, whether they be agriculture, whether they be furniture, whether they be of anything else, is that was a hinge point with all the dealings that they've had with any potential buyers has to do with the issue of transportation. So that's going to be critical in our comprehensive transportation plan. Also, there will be a wrap up on the opt-in, and that process is coming in May. And the opt-in staff has been very sensitive with regard to this and finishing this up, because the scenario has changed quite a bit with this change of circumstances. But in discussions, it is that this planning's been done, and we'll just move on with what we have put out there and hope to implement everything and make things the better. So with that, there's a lot of things happening. This is going to be a challenge. I think about being told 71 to 86, about the plant staying closed. The livelihood of the people of Graham County, and I don't know what this computes for our percent of workforce in Graham County. It's 17% the last time I had any information on it. But we need to understand that this is going to be critical. We don't want to see a mass migration away from our county. There are people who are born here, raised here. They've done everything they can to make their living here. My concern is that they have to go and find work somewhere else. So with that, we're going to try and be as proactive as we possibly can and not have to always be reactive. So that's the thing. We will have to react to some things, but hopefully we'll be able to be proactive in everything we can do. And I'm going to be quiet. Stanley Furniture is a business, and Stanley Furniture will make the decisions that it needs to make for itself. Graham County is not Stanley Furniture. But Graham County can foster and research and help this business to remain in Graham County or help to go and to find someone to fill that void. So the two are separated, and at the same token, they're very much connected. And that relationship and those lines are not going to be crossed. They can't be. But we can do everything we can to help get the people here to have business that will employ our workers. And there is a sense of hope in that right now. And we don't want to give that, like again, as Andrew said, false hope. But we need to hope and pray that all of these things happen. So with that, any other comment? I know I'm bad to talk, but here it is. All right, as for communication from this board, when need be, we'll be able to do that and put out any type of information that we can. And James, we'd ask you if we could, to be able, if there's any major development in this, that we can get it immediately to you. And listen, it's not for this board. It's right here in the midst of the election period too. Now, that's not the intent of this board. It's the intent to be able to communicate with the community what's going on. Board be what the board's going to be, but making sure that we're doing everything possible to keep that livelihood alive is what we're about. Anything else? Ms. Garland? When will we know when the next shoe falls? We don't do it.
Well, right now we're working on the impacts to the revenue streams. I'm having the tax office do a study on what the impact, if we had the worst case scenario, because I'm that kind of person, of what if the displaced workers could not pay their property taxes on a timely fashion, as well as what the worst case scenario would be if they were not able to find a buyer, and what that impact would be, as well as the budgetary impacts on the sanitation department, because they get quite a bit of revenue in from Stanley Furniture from that area, as well as what the impact on DSS would be if we had to have if we had a huge influx of persons needing public assistance to bridge the gap until they were able to find work. What type of increases to that budget would we need from a staffing size to handle that? So I've been really busy in my office the last few days to try to come up with those numbers so that when we meet for our next, not just our budgetary workshop, but for the next board of commissioners meeting, I can give a report as to what the budget impact's going to be.
So the scenario basically, worst case would be that we'd have to provide more services with less revenue.
Exactly. And then the other piece of the puzzle is the impact on the sales tax, because if the families have less money to spend, then that'll impact the local economy as well. Obviously, they will get some SNAP benefits to help buy their groceries, but those benefits have been cut from the federal side, so there's going to be less money all around to float the boat for their households as well as Graham County's household.
And also in the media this week, there's discussion, if not already happened, about cuts in unemployment benefits.
Exactly.
So here we are.
If the plant closes, and there's a possibility it will, the paycheck the employees receive hurt the county, the trickle-down effects even comes back to hurt you, and me. It don't just affect the employees. When it goes out over the county, it affects everybody in the county.
Yeah.
Because there's been some of it at Angles, there's been some of it at McDonald's, and if they've got any extra, they might come up and want me to do some work for them. So I lose, McDonald's lose. The trickle-down effects really
And I'll go ahead and tell you this, we had an NCACC meeting in Waynesville last week, and we had the privilege to talk with Senator Davis at the Southwest Commission meeting the week before. And the General Assembly, as I understand it from Senator Davis, their marching orders is to cut 2% across the board. So we're looking at that. We're looking about the impact of this potential closure. So it's not looking too bright. There's going to have to be some difficult decisions made, and we're going to have to do it within our meetings. And a lot hinges on buyers, no buyers. But it comes down to this, and I believe this is a sound statement: if it's not sold in 60 days, it closes. That's it. And we're in the middle of budget. So we just have to do the best we can with what we've got. But some of the folks that we're dealing with regard to grants and agreements that we have with them, word, for the most part, is not to count. So these agencies understand about what's going on, and they're going to work every way they possibly can to help Graham County wade through this. We will. Any other comment? With that, that's all we have on agenda permitted to speak on. So we have a motion to adjourn. So have a motion and a second. All approved. Can we stand adjourned?